Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be going over a VOD of a good friend of mine, Shio Wager, and we're going to be breaking down his crosshair placement, and then I will be going into a deathmatch and explaining what good crosshair placement looks like, and some things that I focus on in order to help me practice crosshair placement. So let's get started. Alright, so before we begin, I would like to give a big thank you to this handsome man up here in the top left of the screen for letting me use his VOD. And now we're going to cyberbully him. So we're going to be going over some mistakes that I see in his crosshair placement, and we're going to be focusing on that in this VOD, just because I like to attack topics whenever I make videos. So here's a very common mid-push. We get the Sova out into Garage, and now he's going to drone his team through Garage. And I'm going to let the clip play out, and we're going to see if you guys can spot anything wrong with it, and then I'll go back and point out what was wrong with the way that he played this. Alright, so it might be hard to see, but alright, we're watching it out. He takes his drone through Garage. He does not clear close left Garage, by the way, with the drone, just so you know. Okay, and he gets a scan on the Phoenix. So what happens in Shio's mind right here is he gets the scan on the Phoenix and he assumes Garage is free and he sprints in. Note, while he didn't clear close left, he also did not clear the tunnel for Garage, and he also did not clear behind the double stack in Garage. So let's look at his crosshair placement as he maneuvers through Garage. So he comes in. Remember, he didn't take his drone through this, so there could be a guy behind this who could have been behind this box. There could be a second guy who is right side window. There could be a guy who's close left, and there could be a guy in the doorway over here. And Shio Wager, because he got that scan, he's confident. He swings through. Now, if this is me, say close left had already been cleared, what Shio should be aiming at is he should have swung the right side of window to start and had his crosshair up here, and that when he was back at the entrance, right? And then as he enters Garage, his crosshair should be right here at head level. But instead, notice how he's aiming at nothing. A player cannot appear from through this wall. So having his crosshair here is useless. Either have it pre-aimed up here or have it pre-aimed over here. You should always, always, always be aiming in a spot where an enemy could appear from. You should never just have your crosshair floating out in space like this. This is a big mistake that I see a lot of newer players make, and while it's unlikely that somebody peeks him from here, from like this window or whatever, but it's not entirely impossible, which is why you have to always be positioning your crosshair in a spot where you could be peeked from. Alright, let's go to the next clip. Hey guys, fun reminder that I stream every day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Check the time where you are and see if I'm live. Look at all this great content you're missing.
Here comes the party!
You don't talk about it.
I just slowed up.
Kill my
Dude,
ally!
I'm done.
Alright, so for this next clip, we're going to be taking a look at a near 1v4. Shio Wager is rotating from B to A in order to try and retake the bomb site, and his teammate goes down. Now, something that I do personally that is anytime that I'm running around, even if I like don't have my gun out or I'm bringing my gun out, I always make sure that like I get my crosshair ready so that as soon as it's up, I already have good crosshair placement. So I don't like that he's like got it floating over here. If this was me, I probably have my crosshair at head level already, even though I'm pulling out my gun and I can't actually shoot it yet. It's just good to have it there already, so it's one less thing to worry about. But, you know, this is kind of nitpicky. Anyways, he peeks out, players running at him. The Reyna who fought his teammate gets a dismiss, and Shio has his crosshair in the wall. He's not aiming at head level where this guy could peek him. He is aiming into the wall, even though like he's not even like ready for like the Reyna to come out of the dismiss. It's just sloppy crosshair placement overall, and he gets swung by this Omen. And because of that, you see the distance he had to flick to go from there to there. Had he already had his crosshair, it's just a much smaller flick distance, which would benefit him a lot. And he takes down the Omen. He resets his crosshair, but it is too low. This is not headshot level. And the Reyna's going to re-swing him. And he was a bit below the Reyna and gets into another spray fight. And because of all this, because his crosshair placement isn't clean, and he's not getting these kills quickly and cleanly, he's all the way down to 45 HP now. Like, he's lost so much from chip damage just because he doesn't have good enough crosshair placement that he's instantly headshotting these players and dealing with them quickly, that he's getting into these spray fights where he's exchanging chip damage between the two. So this actually ends up hurting him later in this 1v4. So Shire reloads, and he drones. He's unable to clear graffiti, by the way. Was unable to clear graffiti, wasn't able to clear the deep right angle, but now he knows there's a player under heaven. Peeks for the under heaven angle, and now I don't like this. He's not ready for the right side or the left side default swing. He pulls out a shock dart, and he wide swings. Say there was a player right here, he didn't bother clearing it. If there's a player here, he's dead. It's unlikely, but these are the things that you have to always be prepared for. You have to take your time. You have to have good crosshair placement. You have to clear your angles thoroughly. So he shock darts, and again, he did not clear graffiti. There could be the most common thing on a bomb site is to play crossfire, under heaven, and graffiti, right? Shia was unable to clear graffiti, and he still overswings his body. And look, he swings out to he peeks this angle, default, deep short, and graffiti. He's exposed his body to all these angles, and this is more of a movement thing. But if he had practiced good crosshair placement, he would have used it to clear out these angles and section them off one by one to figure out where this other player is playing. He throws a shock dart, and now he's flashed, and he knows the last guy is cat or short. Shock dart kills the Cypher under sight, or under heaven, sorry. And that Phoenix flashed twice. So this is a little bit nitpicky, but I would have liked to see him be a little bit more careful when he peeked out here, just because off those two flashes, it's possible that the Phoenix repositioned. But that's getting a little nitpicky. So Shia's going to push into sight, and again, like I said, I know he doesn't have his gun out, but if this is me, I've still got my crosshair ready to go. He's like letting it drift over here when he pulls out his knife, and it's a little nitpicky by me, but I'd prefer to see him have his crosshair already ready in a spot where he could potentially be peeked from, even though he would have to pull out his gun. And again, he comes over, he's going to tap the bomb. When he goes for this peek, his crosshair is low. This is not headshot level. I think what he's thinking is he's trying to pre-aim for like deep short, but that's not headshot level either. So just a bad understanding of what is headshot level and what isn't. And we're gonna play this out. He walks up, and he loses the 1v1. It was a walk peek. It was a poor peek, but crosshair placement wise, it wasn't the worst peek. But yeah. Pretty misplayed 1v4, even though he did get 3 of the kills. It could have been a lot cleaner. And look, he took 2 body shots from the Phoenix. He didn't even have to get headshotted because, like I said earlier, because he took all that chip damage, he was weaker. And it made him easier to be finished off in this final 1v1. So let's get into the deathmatch clips. Alright, so really quick, I'm going to use this time as an example to demonstrate what good crosshair placement looks like. That was good crosshair placement. That guy walked right into it. But you want to keep your crosshair at head level, and you want to keep it in a spot where somebody can peek you from. So like when I'm like clearing angles like this, I don't like to have my crosshair like floating into the wall, because then I have to flick out of the wall in order to shoot a player that is peeking me. So as I'm navigating the map, I'm trying to keep my crosshair at head level while also having it tracing the outside of the wall in spots where I can get peeked from. So I do this with like every wall that I see. Like when you snap to a new angle, you just try and have your crosshair like just trace the wall. That is the goal of good crosshair placement. So I come around peeking, and then I'm gonna clear B main, and I have my crosshair glued to the edge of B main. And sometimes you have to flick in deathmatch. That's just the nature of deathmatch, you know. But the goal while you are in deathmatch is that if somebody does peek you from an angle that you are holding, like that guy peeked right in my crosshair. Barely had to move it at all in order to get that kill. It was incredibly easy. But you just want to have your crosshair in a spot where you can get where you are going to get peeked from. And I focus on this while I'm playing all the time. Like, crosshair placement is not one of those things that you work on and forget. It's something that like you have to be focused on at all times while you are playing the game. Like, this is the main thing that I focus on while I'm deathmatching. I focus on this and movement. I don't care about winning deathmatches. I care about improving my mechanics. And as I'm playing a game, I try and never get lazy with my crosshair placement. While I'm in match, I'm always making sure that I have my crosshair on head level. Like, I'm always focused on, okay, if somebody were to peek me here, is my crosshair in the perfect spot in order for me to get the headshot or not? Like, it is something that you always have to focus on. And eventually it becomes second nature, but second nature doesn't mean you get lazy with it. You know what I'm saying? So while yes, it's second nature to me by now, it's not because I'm lazy, it's because like I've ingrained it so much that like I will always be practicing good crosshair placement while I play. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm kind of a bot right now, you know. I just got off work in like a 4-hour shift. No warm-up, just cranking out a video, but I think that this was a good example for what good crosshair placement looks like. This is a good example of what I focus on while I play. And yeah, I hope this helps you guys improve. I hope you guys learned something. If you liked the video, please drop a like, drop a sub. I'm going to try and do these videos on a pretty regular basis. Stream highlights and stuff like that are all weekly, but educational videos sort of come when the inspiration hits. But right now the inspiration is kind of flowing, so we're going to keep cranking these out. So yeah, if you guys would like to see me play live, check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/Bumpa. And until next time, boys, I'll see you then. Peace.